Hello there. Once again, Santon from Anton Bay. Thank you guys for stopping by the collection room. Today we're taking a look at, I believe, the last of the, well, almost the last of the AOA comics I have. And I'm going to apologize for the glare, even though I shouldn't, because these are both extremely glary and chrome covers. This is X-Men Alpha Flight, or X-Men Alpha and Omega, sorry. So Alpha would have been a big one-shot that came out before all of the other books, kind of giving a prerequisite of everything that was happening, where all your characters were. Omega would have been all of your characters coming back together at the end. Pretty big deal as far as the story goes. So like this was your introduction to the Age of Apocalypse, to the era that we're in. It's rough. It's a rough go. A lot of this hinges around Bishop, who is the only one who does not know, or who does know, I should say, that the world was not supposed to be this way. Of course, you find out Sabretooth is a good guy. You see the X-Men. You see Magneto's leading them. You're wondering what's going on. And that is where you start off. Some of these pages just kind of speak for themselves. They are brilliantly drawn, though. Like, oh, who is the artist on this? I feel like it would be here somewhere. It's not. Let's see, pencils. Roger Cruz, Steve Epting. I would have expected a name I was more familiar with, as good as this is. Like, hey, we need you to make this dynamic, huge, big one-shot. And I guess it's not somebody I'm that familiar with. Yeah, so see, this is Bishop's real first encounter with Magneto and learning and piecing it all together. And then they start to devise a plan of how to end their reality and get back to the reality that should be. I think this is Blob. Yeah, Mr. Dukes. So sometimes it's hard to recognize who you're looking at. Sometimes it's really easy, like there's Cyclops. Not only is his fashion sense of blue with a crossband, but of course he has eye beams. Mr. Sinister dresses pretty much the same too. Just little things like that. It's kind of funny. It looks like we've subtly shifted artists here at some point. But yeah, all of our characters are introduced. I think pretty much everybody. I mean, there's all of your main characters are. Now there, of course, are going to be some like obscure side characters that like we don't know where they're at, and that was the beauty of a lot of this, was you just run into them, and you'd be like, oh, I know him, and you'd be like, that's what he's doing in this world. That's what she's doing in this world. Crazy stuff. It was just really good. It was a lot of fun to read. Yet also very very heartbreaking. This was like a heartbreaking read. All of it. This was an oversized book, so it was a very thick book. See the memories of what everything should have been. Of course, not everything is all peaceful. And a lot of your attitudes are vastly different here in the AOA than they are in the standard universe. As the shards of reality just come down around them. Yeah, highly chrome covered book. Yeah, this was a big one. This was a huge deal when it came out. It was very unique. Let's see if I can't tone down some of the glare. There's just still so much glare. Like I said, both one-shots. X-Men Omega was on the other side. So you would have opened with that. You would read all of the stories in between. And here we are at the end. Here we are at the wrap-up of the entire universe as they close it down. And all of your heroes from all of your other stories, like Excalibur and X-Man and everybody, they may get like a little, like a page or two here. As we, like, that's a great page. This is basically all your X-Men who survived. And you get the final showdown. This one, to me, this one was good. I personally thought X-Men Alpha was probably a better read, simply because it's this like cold open to this terrible, terrible universe. And this is a hot close to a terrible, terrible universe. And yeah, all of your story arcs come together, like Weapon X story arc, where the European High Council is bombing the US. Yeah, so the bombs are there. I think Jean ends up holding them back. If I remember right, they hold the bombs as long as they can. And but of course, the end does come, like in a big cataclysmic explosion. And when I first read this, my understanding was like all of your heroes, all of your bad guys, all of your universe as it is, basically is just nuked into oblivion. And so anybody who was here is dead, was always my understanding. Like all the fighting and all the effort everybody made to fix their reality, they fix it. But as far as this reality is dead and closed, and it doesn't continue. So, you know, if I'm wrong on that, maybe somebody else could set me straight on that. That was always my take. Because we get it defeated, we get Apocalypse defeated, we get the timeline changed. It switches back. But like, yeah, they all die. Like, that's it. Whoosh. Nuclear blast. It's over. So every effort made came to its conclusion and was done. I'll go back a page or two to see anything that would tell me otherwise, but I don't think so. Because I think the bombs fall and it's unstoppable at this point, and that is the last page. And I always just figured that's the end of the universe, because all of your heroes are nuked into oblivion. So if that's a sad bummer, and if you've never read the AOA, actually it's still 100% worth reading the AOA, because like I said, seeing all these different characters in different places and different, I mean, I guess you could call it a typical Elseworld story, but to me, I guess it was like the first huge Elseworld story that was like so feasible. Like this was feasible. If this didn't have it, yeah, you'd have this, and you would be like this, and this person would be like this. It was really good stuff. Anyway, X-Men Omega was a heavy read. X-Men Alpha was also an extremely heavy read. All of the AOA, for me, was a very heavy read. But they're all sandwiched between these two, between the Alpha and the Omega, and the beginning and the end of the story. And man, that's a lot of glare. Anyway, I recommend these. I don't know how much they are anymore. I was lucky. I've had these for years and just wanted to cover them, and wanted to thank you guys for making it. If you made it this far, I think you've pretty much made it through the AOA, and that's something to be said. I highly recommend tracking down your AOA. If not in individual issues, go buy a trade of it somewhere. It's a good read. It's worth doing. And cap it off with these, and yeah, it works. Anyway, I appreciate you guys sticking with this series as we go through the AOA, and I really appreciate it. That's pretty much all I can say. I don't know, it's just hard when you wrap up a big story arc like that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys later.